Hey guys, so today I'm back with a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be talking all about beauty products that I think are worth the investment. And I'm not necessarily talking specific products, although I will get into certain topics, but more so categories. Now, this might seem like a strange concept, but in my mind, I have really clear, distinct categories of products. I'm like, I would spend a lot of money on a retinol, but I wouldn't spend a lot of money on a hyaluronic acid. And then other things where I'm like, you could definitely go for a more affordable alternative for that and it would be just as good. So I'm going to start off talking about devices, because devices are one of the things that I generally do tend to think are worth investing in rather than scrimping on. Because with devices, I think with anything electronic, I'm really conscious of the quality of electronics from a safety point of view, also from a longevity point of view, because they do tend to be quite heavy investment products anyway. So even if you're buying a more affordable one, it's probably going to be still quite expensive. You want it to last, you want it to perform how you expect it to, but you also want to know that it's safe and that it's well tested and it's doing its job on your skin. So for me, the number one thing that I think is worth the investment in my skincare routine is my Zip Halo. And you guys will have seen me talk about this a few times. I've worked with Zip over the past kind of 6 months or so to kind of show you how this works and how I use it. It's essentially a nano current device. And while I would say this is 100% worth the investment, I think a lot of the time with microcurrent, some of the devices aren't. And I think when you go for a microcurrent device, make sure you are looking for something that goes above and beyond, because there are a lot of microcurrent devices out there and some of them do just one thing, others do more than one thing. This is why I think this one particularly is worth the investment, because this nanocurrent and microcurrent, so you're working on two different levels within your skin to give you the instant kind of noticeable lift, like muscular lift to your skin that microcurrent gives you, but also an improvement over time within your skin tone and skin tightness, just really helping you to kind of sculpt your facial features over time as well. And the way that you use this, I'm going to insert some footage now because I can't show you right now because I have makeup on. You essentially put a conductive gel on underneath this, and this is specifically formulated to work with the Zip. They do a few different conductive gels, but my favorite one is this one, which is the Zip Electric Complex Conductive Gel. They do different conductive gels for different skin types as well, so if you're concerned about having oily skin or drier skin, you can get specific gel tailored to your skin, and then you literally work it over your face and you can see the results instantly. Like, I'm quite skeptical when it comes to devices in general that offer kind of instant results, because there are so few products on the market that do actually deliver instant results, but this is one of them. I currently have a discount code for this. I'll put it on screen now and you can get some money off if you want to invest in this yourself. I personally have loved this. One of the reasons why I use this so much as well is because it's compact, it's easy to travel with, it's easy to kind of have on your bedside table, it's not taking up a ton of space. Another thing that I think is worth the investment is an LED mask. They do more affordable versions of these now. They didn't for a long time. They were expensive, and the current body ones were some of the first ones to market. I 100% think it's worth investing in one of these and investing in the best quality one you can afford. Personally, I've loved my current body one. There definitely are more affordable alternatives on the market, and I think this has actually got more affordable since I got mine, because they are a lot more widely available now, but they're so good. Mine has lasted me years and I use it loads and I really notice results using it. Absolutely love it. The other thing electronics wise I think is worth really investing in are hair tools, and I feel like this goes without saying, because if you're watching this kind of channel, you probably are already there with investing in things like GHDs, Dyson, etc. The Shark FlexStyler for me has got to be one of the best heat styling tools. I actually this is the first time I've used heat on my hair in 2 months, so I feel like I'm kind of cheating on my natural hair texture talking about styling tools, but obviously I've used them for years and years. So the Shark FlexStyle, I love the Dyson supersonic hairdryer. I also love the original GHD straightener, so I use like a combination of all of them. If you want to see the full review of this, I have one with a comparison to the Dyson. Spoiler alert, I think this is better and it's cheaper, but definitely worth spending money on hairstyling tools from my experience. Again, with the quality of the electronics, but also like longevity and just actual performance. I find not always, but most of the time, the performance is much better on higher end hair tools. Talking of hair, another thing that I think is worth the investment on the hair front are actually purple treatments. I've used so many purple treatments over the years. I've been blonde my whole life. I was a natural blonde as a child, and then when I reached about 14, I think I had my first highlights, and then it was a slippery slope from there. But yeah, I've always been blonde. I've always reached for purple kind of treatments and shampoos over the years when my tone has got a little brassier. And I have to say, although there are a few good ones on the high street, I do find a real difference with ones that are more expensive. And I'm not necessarily like a super expensive shampoo and conditioner girl all the time. I do love Pureology, as you guys will know, but sometimes I'll use like low-end stuff, sometimes I'll use high-end stuff in terms of shampoo, conditioner, styling. But I think for purple and toning products like these, I notice a real difference from using the higher end ones in terms of the condition they keep my hair in while they are giving you that change in tone, but also the consistency, the evenness in how they kind of tone your hair, and also the lack of almost like a residue of like a purple cast on top, which I find some of the cheaper products sometimes do. Not saying they're all bad, but like I say, these for me are definitely worth the investment. And then another product that I genuinely think is worth splashing out on, and I rarely use high street alternatives for, is foundation. These are two of my all-time favourite foundations forever. The Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua, which is still... Those of you who thought this was gone, it's back, by the way. This is available everywhere again. It disappeared for a while and got slightly reformulated, but no major changes. And the Armani Luminous Silk, which is just an icon. Like, this is such a good foundation. I do find there are drugstore dupes for these. They are nearly as good, but for me, foundation lasts such a long time, and I feel like it's just 100% worth the investment. Things like eyeliner, mascara, and even eyeshadow I'm 50-50 on, but eyeliner and mascara, definitely you can get as good alternatives on the high street. Not saying I don't love my high-end mascaras, because we all know I love YSL, but you definitely can get some really good ones on the high street as well. And then the other thing that I feel like is generally worth investing in, because it's hard to find good high street alternatives, are cream products. Now, good examples of these are cream bronzers. This is my NARS one, which I love. Cream blushes, the Pat McGrath one I love, the Charlotte Tilbury one I love. I find it hard to find cream textured bronzers and blushes on the high street. Have we got a squidge? I only just noticed squidge was there. The Revolution bronzing drops are good, but they're more of a liquid. That like more of like a solid cream texture. I just find it like few and far between on the high street, and I feel like it's worth the investment. And again, these products generally last a long time as well. So I'd say like the Chanel Bronze Universal lasts months and months and months. The other thing in terms of skincare, I feel like is worth the investment. And this is kind of a strange one because they're not actually expensive, but they're expensive compared to other things on the market, are face halos. Now, I have tried and tested so many alternatives to these over the years, and I always go back to my trusty black face halos. They are the best. They wash so well. They get everything off. I don't actually use them as they originally intended, which is just with water. I do use them like more like a flannel to take my cleanser and to cleanse my face basically with cleanser. But I just love them. They're so good. Like I said, they wash well, they last well, and they're just more robust and more effective, I found, than some of the cheaper alternatives. Yeah. So I think these are worth the investment. I think they're like 3 for £18. So in the grand scheme of things, they're not crazy expensive per item, and they last you a long time. But compared to say like the Garnier ones, which are much, much cheaper to buy, they're just so much better. And they don't move. Like when you're wiping your face with them, they wipe like this. Whereas I find the Garnier ones kind of like crinkle up a little bit. I still use the Garnier ones every now and again, and I love the micellar water with these. Winning combo. But I definitely think face halos are worth the investment. And lastly, skincare ingredients wise, I feel like I'm such a high-low person when it comes to skincare. I will happily use high street skincare. I love The Ordinary. I love the Inky List. But when it comes to retinol, I have found very few good kind of cheap high street formulas. I'm not sure why that is. I'm very like pro things like hyaluronic acid, for example. I probably wouldn't spend a lot of money buying a hyaluronic acid. I've actually turned down a couple of jobs with high-end skincare companies to promote their hyaluronic acid product when it's been say like £70 or £90, because even though the products are amazing and the brands are so good and brands that I use all the time, I just think there are so many very, very, very good hyaluronic acid products out there for like under £10. Whereas retinol, I feel like that it's really slim pickings on the high street. My favourite's Drunk Elephant, which is really strong and needs to come with a warning. You've got to be careful with it. The Elizabeth Arden Retinol HPR, which is super, super non-irritating. And if you are new to retinol, this is worth the investment. I love it. And the Medicate range. So this is actually the Crystal Retinol Ceramide Eye. But the face version of this is also very, very good and expensive, but in my opinion, worth it. Anyway, that is it. Bit of a new concept for a video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you agree with everything or if there's anything that you disagree with. Let me know if there's anything that you are going to be investing in your routine coming up that you kind of have been umming and ahhing about. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.